and welcome back to Authentically ADHD. I am your host, Carmen. I'm a late diagnosed ADHDer, an early childhood special educator, and a certified life and performance coach. I created this podcast to help as many ADHDers as I could to learn about your specific ADHD. I know that when I was late diagnosed, I was sent out the door with meds and no help. We have to do a lot of this work on our own, but if we join together in community, we can live more authentically and with more joy in our lives. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hey there, my friend, and welcome back to Authentically ADHD with me, Carmen. How is it going? Isn't it insane that it's March already? This time of year is a particularly hard time for us. We tend to slip into burnout easier, we procrastinate more, as we crave the summer sun and regulated sleep. Because winter is just too long. I may be talking from personal experience here, but if you relate to this idea in any way, today's episode is definitely for you. Whatever you picture as this part of the year, the third quarter, the third trimester, whatever it is, I am right at the end of our second trimester of school. We have 3, and we are about to do parent-teacher conferences again, meaning the work piles back up, and a lot of times it really creates opportunity for burnout. And so today we're diving into one of the most double-edged traits of the ADHD brain, hyperfocus. If you've ever found yourself completely locked into a task for hours, forgetting to eat, sleep, or even go to the bathroom, yeah, you've been in hyperfocus mode. And we can really get a lot done in these modes. But here's the catch. What goes up must come down. And this is where burnout can sneak in very, very sneakily. Today's episode is all about understanding how to harness your hyperfocus without letting it burn you out. We're going to break down what hyperfocus is, how to use it to your advantage, the warning signs of burnout, and of course, 7 science-backed strategies to help create balance so you can stay productive without the crash. Are you ready? Let's get started. So, what is hyperfocus? Hyperfocus is one of ADHD's most fascinating traits. Now, not all people with ADHD experience hyperfocus. This is why ADHD is a spectrum. Hyperfocus is one of the fascinating traits that some of us can experience. And it's when we become completely absorbed in an activity, sometimes to the point where hours fly by and we don't notice. It's not just being focused. It's more like entering this deep trance of concentration, and breaking us out of it is super hard. And it may feel extremely frustrating if somebody pulls you out of hyperfocus. Studies suggest that ADHD brains struggle with self-directed attention, meaning we have trouble regulating what we focus on. But when something that we're focused on stimulates dopamine, like a passion project or a high-interest task, we get locked in. Some common triggers, I guess you could say, for hyperfocus are certain creative work, like art, writing, music, certain video games or coding, researching a new interest, which is how this podcast was created, deadlines that create a sense of urgency, problem-solving challenges. Those are some, but not all, of the hyperfocus triggers that are out there. There are a ton. For me, getting into a self-help book can be a hyperfocus trigger. Writing a podcast can be a hyperfocus trigger. Doing certain repetitive tasks that aren't tedious can end up being hyperfocus triggers. And hyperfocus can be a gift, but only if we can control it, not the other way around. So how do we harness this fascinating trait, this concentration trance? How do we harness that instead of letting it wreck us? Because hyperfocus is super powerful, when it gets left unchecked, it can lead to skipped meals, sleep deprivation, and neglecting responsibilities. Here's a couple ways you can make it work for you. 1. Set time limits with external cues. Use alarms, timers, or a body double system to remind yourself to take breaks. Whether that's using a texting buddy, using a timer that's visual or audible to help pull you out of hyperfocus, using these alarms has worked for me and many of my clients. Number 2, choose your hyperfocus wisely. Prioritize projects that align with your goals rather than just whatever feels exciting in the moment. When we do it this way, we can get a lot more done towards what we actually want to get done instead of, things that need to get done, like decluttering all of those clothes, but something that doesn't have a deadline. Try aligning that hyperfocus with the goals that have those deadlines and use those extra hyperfocus days for the things that feel exciting in the moment. Really keeping balance is a big, huge key here. Number 3, use it for deep work. Schedule hyperfocus sessions when you need to tackle big tasks like writing, brainstorming, studying, creating, whatever it is. Use that deep work and make sure that you're putting it at a time of day that actually works for your brain. If you don't work well in the morning, don't schedule a hyperfocus session for the morning. I personally work really well in the morning. Some people work well late afternoon or midday. Schedule it for when it works for you. And number 4, pair it with your body needs. Stack hyperfocus with activities like drinking water, stretching, or taking snack breaks. Make sure that those things are readily available. If you know you're going into hyperfocus, which sometimes we don't necessarily know we're going into it, but if you do, make sure you have water nearby. Make sure your environment is set up to where you can sit, stand, stretch, and move a bit. And make sure there are easy snacks that are nearby that are easy to eat. Even with good management, hyperfocus can still lead to burnout if we're not careful. Let's talk about how to recognize burnout before it takes over. Burnout in ADHD isn't just feeling tired. It's a literal total depletion of mental, emotional, and physical energy. I have a whole course on ADHD burnout in this podcast and on my Patreon for free. And it happens when we push ourselves too hard for too long. Research-backed understanding ADHD burnout. Here, studies show that individuals with ADHD are at a higher risk of burnout due to difficulties with self-regulation, self-reflection, time management, and emotional resilience. A study published in Psychiatry Research in 2020 found that ADHDers report higher levels of chronic stress, which contributes to quicker mental exhaustion and chronic burnout. And it's just much, much faster at a much higher level compared to neurotypical individuals. Some common signs of burnout are extreme exhaustion even after you've rested, feeling emotionally drained, irritable, or even detached, struggling to focus even on things you normally love, increased procrastination and avoidance, brain fog, and lack of motivation. It can sometimes even feel like depression. Sound familiar? That's because ADHDers often don't realize that they're in burnout until it's too late. The hyperfocus to burnout cycle is really common, but we can break it. I do, again, have a whole course on this, but we are going to break it down into 7 science-backed strategies that have worked for me and my clients. But first, a word from our sponsors. Hey there. If you're looking for a game changer in managing your ADHD, let me tell you about something that's made a huge impact on my life. Focused, the adult ADHD group coaching program by Kristen Carter. This isn't just another program. It's a community. It's a roadmap. It's a lifeline for adults with ADHD who want to thrive. Inside of Focus, you'll find weekly coaching calls with Kristen packed with actionable insights, a supportive community of adults who get it. They get what it's like to live with ADHD. You'll get tools and strategies that actually work for our brains. No fluff, just real results. I've been a part of Focused for over a year, and let me tell you, it's where I've learned so much of what I share with you on Authentically ADHD. It's been a game changer for me, and I think it could be for you too. And here's the best part. If you use my link to join, we both save money. It's a win-win. So if you've been looking for the right ADHD support, this is your sign to check it out. Head to the link in my show notes to learn more and sign up. Let's thrive together with tools and support that we need to succeed. Are you also loving what we're doing on Authentically ADHD but want to take your experience to the next level? Well, I have got something for you. Introducing the Authentically ADHD Patreon, your VIP pass to the ultimate ADHD support hub. As a Patreon member, you'll unlock exclusive perks like early access to every single episode, hear it before anyone else does, a treasure trove of resources that I've made, tools, guides, and worksheets to help you thrive in everyday aspects of life, direct coaching opportunities with me designed to help you harness your ADHD powers, and the cherry on top, an incredible community of like-minded individuals who just get it. You're not alone on this journey, and together we can be unstoppable. By joining Patreon, you're not just supporting the podcast, you're fueling a movement. Together, we're breaking stigmas, embracing authenticity, and creating a world where ADHD is seen as a strength and not just a struggle. So what are you waiting for? Head over to patreon.com/authenticallyADHD and join the family today. Let's keep growing, thriving, and showing up authentically together. Hope to see you over there. Back to the show. All right. Now, let's jump into some real life strategies for avoiding burnout and creating balance within your life. Number 1, work in cycles, not marathons. Research shows that ADHD brains work best in short, intense bursts. Try Pomodoro techniques, the 25 to 5 minute work break, or the other rhythm method, the 90 to 20 minute break, 90 minute work, 20 minute break. That's the one I prefer. Doing this makes sure that we take breaks to meet our basic needs and actually check in with our bodies and our emotions. Number 2, schedule in white space time. Block out buffer time in your day where nothing is planned. This not only helps you to reset your brain and reduce cognitive overload, but it gives you buffer time for things that run over time, or if that hyperfocus gets out of control for a little bit. Scheduling that white space just really helps reduce that cognitive overload by giving you extra time in your day so that you don't feel like you're running behind constantly. Number 3, use body doubling for accountability. Hyperfocus can really make you lose track of time. A body double, a friend or a coworker virtually or working alongside you, it can really help you stay aware of your surroundings. I do a body double every Sunday from my Facebook page at about 10:30 in the morning for about 40 minutes. Come join it and see how it is. It's the most there is nothing required from you to use body doubling for accountability, but you'd be amazed at how well it works. Have you ever been in a library or a coffee shop where other people are working and you felt more inclined to work? It's because ADHD brains tend to want to blend in with the things around them. So this is how we do it. Number 4, prioritize sleep hygiene. Poor sleep makes ADHD symptoms worse. So setting a bedtime alarm to avoid screens and do things that improve your sleep, such as turning down the lights, turning on something calming, maybe taking a warm shower to improve melatonin production about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep really helps with our sleep and wake cycles, because those things, again, are very, very hard. And you know this if you have ADHD. Number 5, create hard stops for work and projects. Schedule end-of-the-day rituals like journaling, tidying, stretching, or setting an alarm that says work is over now or will be over in 5 minutes. This helps your brain to cognitively switch tasks to be flexible, and it prevents overworking. Number 6, try to fuel your brain with proper nutrition. Are you skipping meals during hyperfocus? Keep protein-filled snacks and hydration reminders nearby. Even keep the real thing nearby, because when we do these hyperfocus bursts and we don't eat, drink water, and all these things, we have these things called blood sugar crashes. It's where our energy crashes. This is also why you might feel tired about 20 minutes after you eat, because your blood sugar is again crashing because it went up really fast because you didn't eat for however long, and so then it crashes, and then you feel the energy crash. You may think my meds aren't working, but try to improve eating and sleeping and see how that works out for you. Number 7, listen to your body and brain. I know, you're rolling your eyes right now, but listen to me. How is it working out for you so far, not listening to your body or your brain? Because if you're mentally exhausted, you have to pause. Take a dopamine-friendly break. A short walk, music, a change in scenery, just to reset your brain. I go out for my lunch break every day, whether I'm working from home or at work. I go in my car or outside somehow to reset my brain. It's just the way that my brain works best, is if I reset in the middle of the day and check in with my body and brain and emotions. All right, my friends, remember, hyperfocus is a tool, not a trap. When we use it correctly, it's a superpower that can help us to achieve amazing things. Without balance, it can lead straight to burnout. So a few reminders are to use timers and accountability to control hyperfocus, recognize the early signs of burnout, use science-backed strategies to avoid exhaustion. And if today's episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs it. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and check out my social media pages and free resources. That's all I have for now, my friends. Stay authentic, and we will talk soon.